Cop Philosophy with Daniel Byram, where we explore the intersection of art, literature, philosophy, psychology, and policing.
This is Dan Byram with a very brief Cop Philosophy remote discussion. And a horrific topic that's in everybody's minds this week, it seems, is kidnapping. And kidnapping is an ancient offense. The founding of Rome was literally, figuratively perhaps, based on a mass kidnapping that led to a war. And of course, the Greeks talk about Hades and his kidnapping Persephone. Her mother so distraught, the world becomes a barren, frozen wasteland until they reach an agreement in which she spends half her time with her mother above ground on earth as summer, and then returns to Hades, and we have winter. The crime can be very scalable, I guess one might say, and beginning with just missing persons. As a person is missing or declared missing, it may be a kidnapping and often is treated as such depending on the circumstances. There are forms of holding people against their will, that unlawful detention, I believe it's called. There are custodial disputes that are often talked about like kidnappings, and very often it's just some type of illegal issue between families of parents and children. Actual kidnappings can be for prurient interests, financial interests, revenge interests. There could be a lot of reasons. We used to see it where I worked in Arizona a lot with cartels kidnapping people for various reasons. To get money, usually out of somebody that owed it, or to extort behavior from people who weren't inclined to engage in criminal activity. And if the strict profiteer kidnapping, stranger kidnapping, the most horrible. I've worked cases where kids were taken, and I think the worst of the worst when it's not for money, it's for other purposes. And to a family has someone missing, there's nothing worse than not knowing where they are and not knowing if you're going to get them back. And of course, political kidnapping, terrorism is a whole additional topic. So kidnapping is a terrible crime. It's probably one of the worst crimes, and it often involves additional crimes. And what we're seeing now in a lot of discussions, a lot of people speculating, but we don't really know what's going on. And as a detective, you're not going to tell the public, you're not going to tell a reporter, and reporters will bring in people like me, retired cops and so forth, and have them look at what's going on and guess. And that's all it is. And what does guessing give us? It doesn't give us very much. It gives us some type of hope, perhaps, maybe, or guidance or understanding of what's going on. We always hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Sometimes we've had kidnappings that weren't kidnappings at all. There were just circumstances that led everyone to believe it. It could be, so you treat it that way, just like you treat every death as a homicide. So I don't have any answers for anyone on any specific case that may be happening right now, except let the professionals do what the professionals do. There are certain things in law enforcement that are difficult, challenging, emotionally draining to the officers. Secrecy is at the utmost, and when you know something that would bring relief or information to the family, sometimes you have to withhold it, and it seems detestable to do that, but there's going to be information withheld as it comes in. The police are going to be doing things, sending out people, police officers, special operations police officers. They're going to be out talking to people. And although police chiefs often, and sheriffs and special agents in charge don't like to admit it, there's a place for officers who are willing to do whatever it takes to get a job done. So let's all, pray and hope for the best, and be patient. Let them work through this, and hopefully we'll see a positive result at some point. Don't get too wrapped up in the minute-by-minute minutia, speculation, guessing, throwing out information. In fact, that may be harmful to the case. It may be harmful to the victim to overanalyze, overtalk. Basically, you're just coaching the bad guys, if there are real bad guys, if this is truly what it appears exactly to be. So just sit back, sip some coffee, passively listen, but don't get too emotionally wrapped up. We will know when we know. It's Dan from Cop Philosophy. Thank you for listening.
Cop Philosophy with Daniel Byram, where we explore the intersection of art, literature, philosophy, psychology, and policing.